Hello, welcome to our channel. In this video, we will talk about circles and their equations. First, let's derive equation of circles. Here is the definition of a circle. A circle is a set of points that are equidistant from a given point called the center. So like we have here in the graph, this is the center over here. And all the points around the center that are at distance r from the center form a circle. So circle is the combination of all of these points here. Of course, we have infinitely many of them. So all these points together form a circle. The distance between the center and the points of the circle is called the radius. So this is the radius. This distance here is the radius. And since all these points are equidistant from the center, so we can draw radius from center to any point on the circle. Right, so this is how we define a circle. Now let's look at how we can find equation of the circle. So for that, let's consider any point, any arbitrary point xy on the circle like we are given here. The center, let's denote that by hk, point hk, and the radius is r. So now we need to think how r, hk, and xy are related. Of course, r is the distance between the point hk and xy, so we can apply the distance formula. The distance formula, let me write down the formula first. We have d equals square root of x2 minus x1 square plus y2 minus y1 square is the formula for distance. In this case, we can consider that one to be x1 and that one to be y1. And we can consider this x to be x2 and that y to be y2. So using this formula, we see that the distance r is simply going to be x2 minus x1, x minus h squared plus y2 minus y1, y minus k squared. Everything under a square root. So this is the equation of a circle. To write it down in a little better looking way, we can square both sides. We get r square equals x plus h square plus y minus k square. This is the equation of a circle. And next we can, and we generally write this on the left side. So the general form of equation of circle looks like this one. X minus h square plus y minus k square equals r square. If the radius is r and center is hk, then this is the equation of a circle. All right, so next let's look at some examples. Let's just find the equation of circles with the following center and radius and graph them. So for the first one, we have center 2, 4. So that means hk is simply 2, 4, and the radius is 3. So r is 3. Radius r equals 3. So now we can use this equation here. Since we do hk and r, we just plug in the values of hk and r to get the equation. So we have x minus h is 2 plus k is 4. So y minus 4 squared equals r squared. R is 3 equals 9 because 3 squared is 9. So this is the equation for the first circle. For the second one, The center is -3, 1. So those are the values of h and k, and the radius r is 2. So let's put down the equation right away. We have x minus -3, x minus h squared plus y minus k, which is y minus 1 squared equals 2 squared. So looks like we can simplify this part a little further. So that will give us x plus 3, x minus 3 is x plus 3 squared plus y minus 1 squared equals 4. So this is the equation for the second circle. For the third one, we have center 0, 0. That means the values of h and k are 0 and 0, and the radius is 1. So it will look like x minus 0 squared, because we have x minus h squared, plus y minus 0 squared equals r squared equals 1 squared. So this will give us x squared plus y squared equals 1 squared. This is the equation of the third circle. Now, if you look at this one, we have center, the origin, and radius 1. Such a circle is called unit circle. Any circle with radius 1 is called unit circle. Now let's try to quickly graph these circles. Let me draw the axis first. This is our y-axis, and this is our x-axis. Let's label the axis. So let's just go by step of 1 and so on. Similarly, at the vertical axis, we have 1, 2, 3, and so on. The first one has center 2, 4. 2, 4 is a point over here. So this would be the center for the first circle, and the radius is 3. So that means on this side, it should go up to here, 1, 2, 3. On this side, it should go up to here, 1, 2, 3. To here on this side, and up to here on this side. So the circle will go through these 4 points here. For the second one, we have center -3, 1, which is right here. And the radius is 2. So it should go up to here on this side, up to here on that side, up to here on this side, and up to here on this side. So the circle for the second one should look like this one. So this is the second circle. And for the third one, the center is 0, 0, which is right here. And the radius is 1. So it should go 1 unit all around that point, which will look like this. So this is the third circle. This is the first one, this is the second one, and this is the third one. So basically, once you have center and radius, then you have the circle defined. Now let's look at a few more examples. So here we are given the equations, and we want to find the center and radius of these circles. So let's look at the first one. And let's go on graphing them at the same time. So I'm going to get the axis first. This is our y-axis. And this is our x-axis. So for the first one, we have x minus 2 squared plus y minus 1 squared equals 25. Now compare this with x minus h squared plus y minus k square equals r square. So if we compare these two, looks like we have h equals 2, k equals 1, and r square equals 25, the right-hand side in both of these equations. So that means the center is 2, 1, because we said the center is hk, and the radius is the value of r, which is 5. Since r square is 25, r must be 5. So we got the center and radius. Now we can try to graph this circle. So the point 2, 1 is right here. And we are looking at radius 5. So we go 5 units on all sides from this point. We go down here, up here, here, here. So the circle will connect these 5 points. This is the first circle. Center 2, 1, and radius 5. So at any point on the circle from the center must be 5 units. Right, so we are done with the first one. Now let's look at the second one. For the second one also, the center is 2, 1. And the radius is square root of 12, because r square is 12. That means r is square root of 12. For the purpose of graphing, let's find the approximate value of square root of 12. If we use our calculator, this will come out to be approximately 3.5. So we are looking at radius approximately 3.5 all around the point 2, 1. So 3.5. The circles should contain this point. This is 3.5, 1, 2, 3.5, and on this side 1, 2, 3.5. So it should contain that point. On this side we have 1, 2, 3.5. It should contain this point. And a half. So it should contain these points. So the circle must look like this. So this is the second circle we have here. Now the third one, we have x minus 7 squared plus y squared equals 4. So from here, you see the center HK. H is 7. And here we have y minus 0 squared. That y squared you can write as y minus 0 squared. So we have this format, y minus k squared. That means k is 0. So the center is 7, 0. And the radius is 2, because we have r squared equals 4. So this side compares with r squared, 4, which means r equals 2. So we are looking at center 7, 0. 7, 0 would be a point somewhere over here, 7, 0. And we are looking at radius 2. So we go 2 units all around that point. So the circle must go through these points. This is the circle, the third circle we have here. Now the last one given here is x squared plus y squared equals 6. Again, we can write this as x minus 0 squared plus y minus 0 squared equals 6. So that means H and K are both 0 and 0. So the center is the origin, 0, 0. And to find the radius, we see that R square equals 6. R square is 6, which means R equals square root of 6. Again, for the purpose of graphing, let's try to find the approximate value of square root of 6. So if we use our calculator, square root of 6 is approximately 2.4. We have center 0, 0, which is right here. And the radius 2.4. So we can go up to here on this side, up to here on this side, here on this side, and over here on this side. So the circle must contain these points. So this is the fourth circle. So we are done with these examples. Of course, if you use decimals or other calculators to graph these equations, you will get better looking circles. You will get better looking graphs. Now let's look at more examples. So here we are given some circles and we want to write down the equations. So for starting with circle A, to write down equation of a circle, we need to know the center, we need to know H and K, and we need to know R. So the center gives us H and K. In this case, looks like the center would be somewhere over here for this circle. So which is the point -5, 2. So values of H and K are -5, 2. And the radius is R. So we can just find the distance. We can just count the boxes from the center to any point around the circle. So looks like the radius is this length, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 units. The radius is 4. So now we are ready to write down the equation of the circle. X minus H squared. So that means X minus -5 squared plus Y minus K squared. Y minus 2 squared equals R squared, which is 4 squared. We can simplify this expression a little further. So X plus 5 squared, because we have X minus -5 plus Y minus 2 squared equals 16. That is the equation of the first one. Now let's look at B. Again, the same idea. We simply want to find the center and the radius. The center HK is this point over here. Just by looking at the graph of the circle, which is the point 1, 2. And the radius is distance from the center to any point on the circle. So we can consider that length, which is just 1 unit. The radius is 1. So therefore, the equation of this circle is X minus H squared. So X minus 1 squared plus Y minus K squared. Y minus 2 squared equals R squared, which is 1. So 1 squared, which is 1. So this is the format we used again. Let's look at circle C. In this case, the center is right here. So point 2, 3 is the center and the radius is this length here. So 2 units. And again, we can quickly write down the equation. So X minus 2 squared plus Y minus 3 squared equals R squared equals 2 squared, which is 4. This is the equation of circle C. And the last one, circle D. We have the center somewhere over here. Looks like this will be the center for circle D. So HK is the point 2, 1. So that is the center. And the radius is distance from center to a point on the circumference of the circle. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units. Radius is 5. And we can again quickly write down the equation of the circle. So x minus 2 square plus y minus 1 square equals 5 square, which is 25. This is the equation of the fourth circle. So we got equation of all of these circles. We have one last example in this video. So here again, we are given a diameter EF. And we know the points at the end points of the diameter. We want to find equation of the circle. For that, we need the center HK and the radius R. So first, let's find the center. Center HK is simply the midpoint between E and F. So center is simply the midpoint between E and F. Center is simply the midpoint between the endpoints of the diameter. So in this case, we can apply this midpoint formula. We have the formula x1 plus x2 by 2, y1 plus y2 by 2. We can consider these to be x1, y1, and we can consider these to be x2, y2. So we have x1 plus x2 by 2 as 1 plus 7 by 2. And we have y1 plus y2 by 2 as 2 plus 4 divided by 2. So this comes out to be 1 plus 7 by 2 is 8 by 2, which is 4. 2 plus 4 by 2 is 6 by 2, which is 3. So 4, 3 is the center. So this point is 4, 3. That means we have the values of h and k that we need for equation of the circle. We need h and we need k. We just got those values. Now we need to find the value of r. R is the distance from center to a point on the circle. So we can take E or F, one of those 2 points, and apply the distance formula. So R is the distance between E and center. Or we could do F and center. That will give you the same length. So this will be square root of, we have the formula over here, x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. So we can consider 1, 2 to be x1, y1. And this time we can consider these to be x2, y2. So we have 4 minus 1 squared. And we have 3 minus 2 squared. So this becomes 3 squared plus 1 squared. So this will become square root of 10. So this is the radius. So now we are ready to write down the equation of the circle. We will simply use this format. We have x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. So we have x minus h squared, h is 4, plus y minus k squared, k is 3, equals r squared. Radius r is square root of 10, so we just square that. We can simplify this just a little further. So on the left side, we have x minus 4 squared plus y minus 3 squared equals, square root of 10 squared is 10. So this is the equation of the circle. Hope this video was helpful. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Thank you.